It starts off with a simple equation. Negative 3f plus 5 equals negative 4. Okay, guys, I've taken the problem and I've written it over in my own handwriting. And what's different about this problem is we actually already know our answer. We know the answer is supposed to be negative 4. So this is a problem where we have to work backwards. So if I am going to work backwards, the first thing I need to get rid of is my constant. Just like the day when we played trivia, every student got 2 tickets when they walked in the door. We had to get rid of those 2 tickets. Well, here we didn't have 2 tickets, but we had plus 5. So if I'm trying to get rid of that plus 5, the opposite to work backwards is to undo it. It's going to be negative or minus 5. Negative and minus, kind of the same thing, guys. Now, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So it's moved over here. So now I have a negative 5 out there. A plus and a subtract, or positive and negative, they cancel each other out. So now that is now gone. What I have left over here is I have negative 3f. Negative 3f is equal to, now over here I don't just have negative 4 anymore. I have to combine what's out here together. Combine means I'm going to add it together. If I'm combining this now, I'm going to end up with negative 9. Well, again, they're saying negative 3 times something is giving us negative 9. Or I'm sorry, did I say negative 9? Negative 3 times something gave us negative 9. I still have to work backwards again. So the opposite of multiply would be to divide by 3. That way I can undo it. If I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So over here, I'm going to divide by negative 3. When I do that, the 3's go away, and I'm left with f is equal to, well, negative 9 divided by negative 3. And negative divided by negative is a positive, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So my final answer to this problem is f is equal to positive 3. Now let's go ahead and move on with this. Let's go ahead and move to number 5. In number 5, it says write the first 5 terms of the sequence for the equation y equals 4x plus 2. And then it wants the sequence. Remember, your sequence is your y. And it wants the first 5 terms. Your term is your x. So we're going to have to set up a process table here. So let me pause this and get my table set up. And you actually need to make sure you're pausing the video and trying this on your own first. Use the video to check your work only. Once I have my table set up, all I have to do, they kind of made it easy for me. They already gave me the rule, so I just need to plug it in. My coefficient's 4, so I got to do 4 times 1. 4 times 1 is 4, and then I have a constant of 2, so plus 2. So my answer would be 6. For the second term, the second position, 4 times 2 plus 2. 4 plus 2 is 8. I'm sorry. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Now, I want you to be honest, and I want you to pause the video. I want you to finish your table on your own, please. Okay, guys, where we had stopped is on the 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14. The next one, 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Then we have 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. Now remember, your sequence is your y's. It's all my y answers. So if I'm actually writing the sequence, position 1, I get an answer of 6. See, here's my 1, I get an answer of 6. Position 2, I get an answer of 10. position 2, position 3, position 4. So position 5 should actually be 22. So when it asks for the sequence all at once, right here is it wants your y values. Okay, moving on. Question 6. You're going to have some like these on your test on Friday, so I'm glad you're joining me today. It says the table below shows the sequence of numbers. So position 1 has an answer of 1. Position 2, position 3, and so on. What's missing is they're not showing us the process. So we might want to spread it out to do a little process column so we can find our delta y and delta x. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm going to totally back this up on you a little bit. Let me take my eraser here. Okay. I want to go back to what we already have discovered about this problem. What we discovered about this problem is our delta y is a half, or 0.50. The delta x is changed by 1. So we have 0.50 divided by 1. 0.50 divided by 1 is 0.50, or it stays a half. If that's the case, another way is divide by 2. Well, we know we have a coefficient. Our coefficient is all right here. These are all my different ways to do my coefficient. That and divided by 2 would be my coefficient. A does not even have a coefficient, so A is not my choice. B does not even have a coefficient, so that's not my choice. The only other option that I'm looking at is C and D. If you look at D, D actually has it divided by 4, where C has it divided by 2. What we're going to do, test taking strategy, is plug your numbers in and see what works. Our first number is 1. If I were to plug that in here, 1 plus 1 divided by 2. 1 plus 1 is 2, divided by 2 is equal to 1. So if I look on the table, I'll get an answer of 1. I put in 1, I get an answer of 1. The next number is 2. So if I plug in 2, and guys, I don't even have to plug in 2. I could skip this one on the table, and I could go straight to problem 3. So if I plug in 3, 3 plus 1 divided by 2. What is 3 plus 1? 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2. So I'm totally right. So the correct answer here in this problem would be answer C, because it's the only one divided by 2, which is the same thing as a half. You could skip 4. You could try it out for 5 if you wanted to. Let me see here, get my pen drawing here. So if I plug in the process, 5 plus 1 divide by 2. To show you, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. That's why your answer choice of C works, because if it's not a half, it's not 0.5, it's dividing it by 2. I hope this helped you for tonight, and I'll see you again tomorrow night.